Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Virgo January 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing is, well, as far as January goes, the sun will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 20th. So for Virgo, the fifth house is what is emphasized and highlighted. So anyway, this could be about Virgo putting a lot of concentration of energy and attention and focus into structure, discipline in one's love life. It could be with matters pertaining to children. It could even be in regards to, even in some cases, things that are connected with maybe gambling or things of a speculative nature. Not to be too foolhardy over these things, and to be very cautious and prudent in these matters and very methodical, and do these things with a lot of like Capricorn-like planning and premeditation. Now, the next thing is, well, as far as January goes, the sun will be in Aquarius from the 20th until the 31st. So the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, this could be about perhaps really about issue, maybe focus and concentration of energy and the attention put into perhaps issues connected with freedom and independence in work-related matters. In matters, it could even be matters connected with your daily routine, doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, not being on some regimented schedule, even really perhaps incorporating the unusual and maybe even ingenuity into your work atmosphere. And maybe finding new ways, maybe to looking at new methods in terms of dealing with health problems. In some cases, this could be some focus and concentration of energy and attention on unusual health or enigmatic health situations. So anyway, well, the next thing is, the full moon will be in Cancer on January the 2nd, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, Virgo might get tired and full, perhaps, and had enough of maybe somebody that might be a friend that might be a temperamental friend or acquaintance, one that might be overly clinging and overly protective. In some cases, this could also be the completion or conclusion of something like the zodiac sign Cancer related, such as some real estate endeavor that might be somewhat of a goal or an aspiration for Virgo. This could really be about unleashing a lot of uninhibited, strong Cancerian like emotional energy, perhaps to a friend, to an acquaintance. It could be in some cases about maybe being tired of being ridiculed or criticized, because Cancer energy could be very sensitive to that. And it could be, in some cases, it could be about a very strong revelation from a friend, and it could be regarding their family life or something connected with their, maybe with their home situation that might be a little bit surprising and something that you didn't anticipate. And it could be really about having enough of maybe of a certain, I guess you could say maybe a situation with you in connection with the friend in general, such as I stated before, a friend that might be overly temperamental, one that's clinging or overly protective, or even overly sensitive and emotional. And anyway, well, the next thing is the new moon will be in Capricorn on January 16th. So for Virgo, the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Virgo at this time, well, this could be about something where Virgo may start or embark on a new position of authority, perhaps maybe something connected with children. It may be also some other things this could be. It could be something like a creative, perhaps maybe a serious creative endeavor, or maybe something like a Capricorn-like hobby could be initiated or started at this time, such as maybe climbing mountains or something connected with cultivation, gardening, and whatever it is. I mean, in some cases, this could be something that could be very enduring and something that has a lot of longevity. It could be a relationship with a child, one of their children, and it could also be in a romantic or love relationship, and maybe beginning to take maybe a love or relationship very seriously. It could be embarking on a new love romantic like relationship, perhaps with somebody that might be older, mature, or very responsible. And maybe in some cases it could perhaps be somebody that might be a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply somebody that embodies those characteristics. And it could also, I mean, in some cases too, this could be about something too. You look at the fifth house, and this is also connected with gambling and speculation. So it could be something where maybe the Virgo gets in some cases a position of authority over something associated with gambling or casino, and of course wherever that's legal, obviously, or something of a speculative nature. So anyway. Well, the next thing is, well, Mercury will be in Sagittarius as far as January goes from the 1st until the 11th. So the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time, it could be about Virgo really speaking the veritable truth, so to speak, to family members, people that figure prominently in their home life and they feel close to home with. There could be a lot of philosophical discussions with these people. It could also about thinking positively, perhaps about getting in touch with one's roots and one's traditions as well, and really also, this could be about, I mean, conversations connected with sports, maybe, religious, philosophical discussions with family members. This is also, I mean, you look at really the fourth house is also about who we are at the core. So it could be about really philosophical discussions, maybe with others, about maybe who you are, who you feel you are at the core. So, I mean, those are some things to look at as far as this goes. And the conversations can also be rather blunt and very outspoken, and sometimes just downright tactless, perhaps with family members and people you just simply feel close to home with. So anyway, well, the next thing is, as far as January goes, Mercury will be in Capricorn from the 12th until the 31st. So the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, Virgo needs to guard against becoming perhaps overly, maybe being overly despondent or melancholy, perhaps over issues connected with children and matters of the heart, perhaps with a love or romantic partner. This could also be about having serious conversations with those same people. The thing about it is, too, I mean, keep in mind that Mercury also rules short journeys. So this could be about also taking some serious short journeys with people that might be, that could be one of your children. It could be somebody in your love and romantic life. It could be somebody that maybe you share maybe some kind of hobby or creative endeavor with. So anyway, well, the next thing is Venus, as far as January goes, will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 17th. So the fifth houses will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, this could be about perhaps some serious enjoyment, perhaps in matters connected with children, matters of the heart. It could even be, I mean, if Virgo is unattached, Virgo may find somebody that might be, I mean, in some cases, a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or somebody that simply embodies those characteristics. It could be somebody that may be involved in a shared hobby or creative endeavor. I mean, this could be, or somebody that they might meet at some entertainment venue or some kind of like a theater or some sorts, or Anyway, also, this could be about making some serious expenditures. It could be perhaps even, I mean, in some cases, some expenditures for the career or for some business, but you actually might really, I mean, which you might actually enjoy, given that we're talking about the fifth house energy, and really making these, and it could be some purchases that you may make that might be tied in for children. It could be items that you feel could be like Capricorn, like long lasting and enduring and have strong longevity. So anyway, well, the next thing is, as far as January goes, Venus will be in Aquarius from the 17th until the 31st. So for Virgo, the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Virgo at this time, in some cases, if unattached, this could be about maybe finding a potential romantic partner or significant other at their workplace, or somebody that might be figure prominently in their health life or daily routine. It could, in some cases, could be an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply somebody that embodies those characteristics. It could be someone that could be rather eccentric, unique, unorthodox. It could even be somebody, in some cases, maybe from a foreign country. It could be somebody that's just very unique and different, maybe. And the thing, too, is this could also be about purchasing electronic, computer-like items for your workplace, things associated with information technology. And this is also, in some cases too, this could be about enjoyment of the unusual in your daily routine. It could be about enjoying things that are connected with computers, electronics, even like robotics, aeronautics, such as, I mean, even model rockets, things of that nature, and really maybe incorporating the enjoyment of that into your daily routine. And it could also be about maybe some unanticipated expenditures, ones that come in a very unpredictable and spontaneous Aquarius-like manner, in matters connected with your work and your health life. So anyway, well, the next thing is, well, as far as January goes, well, Mars will be in Scorpio from the 1st until the 26th. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, this could be about, I mean, where you're talking about the third house, this could be more acrimonious, contentious situations, perhaps with siblings, with people, and with neighbors, perhaps in some cases, and just in general in your communications could be a little bit more acerbic. And being Scorpio, that could also be very caustic and very sarcastic as well. And the speech might have a little bit, a little bit of vengeance connected with it, and maybe saying things to somebody because you're being spiteful and vindictive, and getting someone back. Well, this person said this to me, so I'm going to say this right back to them. So this could also be, I mean, be careful too about, the third house, because it's about our, transportation. And if you're, driving, make sure you're not going, too fast, because this could be about accidents as well on the road. When you're talking about Mars and third house energy, there could be a little more propensity than average to have an accident with your vehicle. And it could also be about showing, putting a lot of energy and vitality into things of a mechanical nature, such as fixing automobiles, or really in using like, I mean, doing things of that nature. Also, it could be too about putting a lot of energy perhaps into things that are Scorpio-like, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, magic, alchemy, perhaps with your siblings if applicable, and with neighbors. And it could be a lot of communication about those things as well, since we're talking about the third house. A lot more mental and physical energy during this time than usual for Virgo. So anyway, the next thing is, as far as January goes, Mars will be in Sagittarius from the 26th until the 31st. So the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, this could be about putting a lot more energy and vitality, perhaps into perhaps the outdoors and sports, perhaps with family members. It could be with people you feel close to home with. It could be taking maybe a lot of expending, maybe some releasing some anger, unleashing some anger, so to speak, perhaps perhaps through some kind of vigorous exercise, which could be done at home. Could also be where you're putting a lot of this exuberant, enthusiastic energy, perhaps into digging into your roots, perhaps your traditions, and really trying to get at who you are, perhaps at the core. And this could also be about some more, the situations with family members and people you feel close to home with could be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. And it could be with a lot of the figurative sharp arrows of Sagittarius truth in those arguments, and people being very blunt and outspoken in the process, and maybe saying things where they're basically maybe making their jokes, where you can be making jokes at them and people could be making jokes at you, but ones that are of a derogatory nature, if you understand what I'm saying, because you're talking about this Sagittarius joking energy, so to speak. So anyway, the next thing is, well, Jupiter will still be in Scorpio. So for Virgo, the third houses will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Virgo, keep in mind that Jupiter can be paradoxical. It is very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand issues. So given that we're talking about Jupiter in Scorpio and third house, this could perhaps expand surreptitious and sometimes even nefarious activity in one's neighborhood, and maybe even with brothers, with siblings. They might be a little bit more mischievous than usual, especially if they're at a younger age. Now, this could also be about having a lot of luck and fortune through transformation of matters with the third house, such as maybe with automobiles, things that are connected with their short journeys. It could also be in some cases where you might have a sibling make a major change or transformation, or a neighbor that maybe makes a positive one for his or herself, at least how I see it. This could also be about expressing a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm, perhaps in Scorpio-like things with siblings, with neighbors. And it could be, things connected, with Scorpio, such as the astrology, the occult, supernatural, alchemy, things that are associated with getting to the bottom of things, digging deep. It could be just things of an investigative nature, going beyond the superficial. And it could also be about a lot of expanded communications in general at this time, and perhaps talking about Scorpio-like things and things where you're getting really deep into matters and talking things in a very deep and profound way. So anyway, well, the next thing is Saturn will be in Capricorn. So at this time for Virgo, the fifth houses will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Virgo at this time, this Virgo might experience some restrictions and limitations in matters of the heart, with children, maybe in their general fun and enjoyment, and with their hobbies perhaps, and it could cause them to feel a little bit despondent or melancholy and dejected. So this could also be where maybe Virgo, for whatever reason, might think that there may be some government restriction that might be putting a damper, so to speak, on one's fun and enjoyment. In some cases, too, this could be about taking care, perhaps, of maybe a debilitated child, or even somebody that you're in a romantic relationship with, and it might be very distressing and causing Virgo to feel depressed. Not necessarily get the case of depression, but what I'm saying is feeling very sad, forlorn, and dejected. So anyway, well, the next thing is Uranus, of course, will still be in Aries. So for Virgo, the eighth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Virgo, this could be about perhaps some unusual and unpredictable activity, perhaps in some cases, maybe with matters with taxes, with insurance. This could be too about maybe where a sexual partner, somebody you're in an intimate relationship with, might be maybe acting a little bit unpredictable, maybe bizarre, or maybe even expressing some ingenious qualities and showing maybe coming up with a lot of new ideas and concepts, and maybe going about it with a lot of that Aries like aggression and really being very pioneering even in the process. This could be too about maybe where Virgo might make some kind of major change or transformation through something Uranus, like it could be something connected with an esoteric subject such as astrology, or maybe getting more involved with computers, with electronics. And it could just be something of an unusual nature. So anyway, well, the next thing is Neptune, of course, will still be in Pisces, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, Virgo may really have more difficulty than usual deciphering what I call the character composition and makeup of somebody. They might be where it might be something where maybe a significant other or a marriage partner, if applicable, might be more deceptive or duplicitous than usual. In some cases, this could be about a significant other or a marriage partner that might succumb to drugs and or alcohol. Some cases it could just be where there might be some danger of even some accidental assimilation of a drug, such as radon, for example. This could also be, in some cases, being able, especially if this person is somebody with the metaphysical, such as astrology, being able to maybe speak publicly on matters connected with that of the metaphysical, and of course astrology can be an example. And also at this time, this could be where perhaps legal issues, maybe and maybe even documents in some cases, might be somewhat unclear or nebulous. And I think Virgo is generally very punctilious with details anyway, but especially at this time, to be very careful and prudent in looking at the details in legal matters, and also matters connected with documents as well. So anyway, well, the next thing is Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, this could be about perhaps, in some cases, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I will again, of course, because I think I need to say it because it is associated with Pluto. In some isolated cases, this could be the death of a child or somebody that Virgo may be having a romantic relationship with. In a lot of cases, this could simply be the figurative death or obliteration of perhaps of a hobby or something that Virgo enjoys. They might feel that maybe their fun might be enjoyed at this, their fun and enjoyment may be destroyed at this time. But keep in mind that Pluto is also about rebirth and regeneration. So that something could end that gives Virgo maybe that fun, their amusement, and it could be even in some cases a creative endeavor, hobby, but that doesn't mean something else can't replace and supplant it with Pluto energy. So anyway, it could also be about power struggles in some cases with children and with romantic partners. And the two, this could also be, Virgo needs to be careful not to become too obsessed maybe with things of gambling and a speculative nature. This could be in some cases where there could be some compulsion, compulsive issues perhaps with that if Virgo isn't careful, despite being a sign that is generally very prudent and very frugal, and especially if this is making, a lot of adverse aspects to planets and points in one's chart. I mean, if Pluto, say, is making an adverse aspect to Jupiter, say, this could really give an exaggerated, perhaps, tendency to do things of a gambling nature and maybe go to a little bit of extremes and such. So it could be maybe where Virgo might gamble a lot one moment and then take a little break, but then go to another extreme and do it again. I mean, this is like, distortion of energy and vacillation of energy in that example. So anyway, well, the next thing is, well, the North Node will still be in Leo. So for Virgo, the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Virgo, this could be, when you have the North Node in transit, it can often be about confronting issues. in some rather isolated cases, it could be about confronting something connected with a mental illness, and in very rare cases, perhaps or isolated ones. I mean, something Leo, like delusions. I mean, you're talking about Leo in 12th house. I mean, it could be like the delusions of grandeur thing, or the grandiose delusions, or whatever that is. The one I'm talking about. In a lot of cases, this could be about where Virgo feels directed, so to speak, to be magnanimous and generous with those that are less fortunate than him or her, such as helping the oppressed, the impoverished, and the homeless, and also really showing generosity to one's perhaps their private time, to matters in solitude and seclusion, and perhaps even showing more extroversion in their private life with people that figure prominently in Virgo's private life. And it could also be too about getting that Leo-like fortitude and courage and valor to weed out the people that might be their hidden adversaries and enemies, and really and be able to be triumphant over them after they can expose it, shine some of that Leo light perhaps on those hidden adversaries. So anyway, well, the next thing is the Black Moon will still be in Capricorn, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, well, in some cases this could be about the unveiling or revelation, in some cases a child or somebody they're having a romantic relationship with that might be showing some overly tyrannical and overambitious and sometimes even ruthless qualities, maybe even showing very callous and showing really qualities of being very callous or even undemonstrative. It could be in some cases, this could be about maybe the revelation or unveiling, say, of a love relationship, somebody that Virgo is in a love relationship with that might just be interested in them, maybe sexually, just to maybe improve their stature in life, and really just for their own really in terms of maybe doing that and improving their general position in life. And in some cases it might not be about love, but those are in isolated cases. This could be too about where Virgo might wind up, something might come out that they don't want unveiled, maybe about an overly depressing situation in their love life in general, something that might be very restricting or limiting, something with children. And maybe in some cases this could be about some serious issue connected with gambling and speculation that they might be having difficulty with, and might be leading them to feel rather despondent or melancholy. So anyway, well, the next thing is, last but not least, Chiron will still be in Pisces, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Virgo. So at this time for Virgo, this could be about Virgo perhaps maybe dealing with some emotional wounds and suffering, perhaps dealing with deceptive or duplicitous marriage partner or significant other. And could also be in some cases dealing with maybe that person succumbing, that marriage partner, significant other succumbing to drugs, to alcohol, or even dealing with other Pisces-like issues, such as with something, a problem with the feet, the toes, the lymphatic system. And also it could be about being maybe somewhat dealing with overly with maybe legal issues that might be somewhat unclear and might be confounding and confusing, or in people, and really this could be causing maybe dealing with trying to deal with these issues is causing like that Pisces like chaos in Virgo's life, and also dealing with open adversaries that might be ones that can be rather you could say evasive or deceptive, and maybe there's really stronger difficulty in dealing with those than on average, because you're talking about Chiron energy, and you're also talking about the 7th house matters with open adversaries, and there could be some sorrows associated with this. But given at this time, that remember that Chiron, it's the wounded healer. So Virgo may be going through some emotional wounds and suffering because of this, but at the same time, Virgo may also be able to help others going through similar situations connected with this Chiron Pisces 7th house energy, and they could do so with that Pisces like compassion and self-sacrifice. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Virgo January 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Libra January 2018 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.